Good morning, everybody. The Professor Kanagasingham, the chief guest, Professor Samantha Karunaratne, the keynote speaker, and all invitees, presenters, staff, and students. I'm greatly honored to accept your invitation to address the first international conference of the Faculty of Technology at the Eastern University of Sri Lanka on the topic of technological transformation for sustainable development. Academic conferences play an important role in dissemination of knowledge. Some academic conferences began more than centuries ago and continue to be the most prominent event in their respective field. They are the primary venue for presenting research finding and publishing high quality research papers. Today, you all involved in such an exercise. You have just begun a new conference, and I hope it will go a long way. I extended my congratulations and commendation to all conference organizers for such an exciting and ambitious initiative. Initially, I intended to attend the meeting in person, but unforeseen and unavoidable obligation prevented me from attending this exciting conference in person. I should say a few words about Eastern University of Sri Lanka at this point. The university is one of the top academic institutions in the country, has provided outstanding undergraduate and graduate student training since 1981. The Eastern University of Sri Lanka has 6 faculties and campus in Trincomalee, expanding its operation across the whole Eastern province. The university is home to over 8,000 students and representing various communities. I should say that the Eastern University is one of the top multicultural university in the country. On the other side of the story, the university is one of the country's top tier young university, which is proud achievement for entire country and whole Eastern province as well. The ultimate index that measure university academic standard is a university ranking. Your university ranking is number 10 among the educational institutions in the country. You have achieved this height despite being a regional university. My congratulations and the best wishes to all the faculty, students, and for this achievement. The newest addition to the Eastern University is the latest technology faculty. This faculty was established to introduce new undergraduate programs into Sri Lankan university system, providing an opportunity for those who want to work in the industry or further their education in technology field. Graduate education in this field also includes entrepreneurship training. This is unique, very unique for the faculty in the Faculty of Technology. It is envisaged that new generation of young business people will emerge in the nation as a direct result of the specialization of this faculty. The change in the education system is timely, and the country desperately needs this change. As a young graduates and as a young academics, our country is going through a challenging period that impact every aspect of everybody's life, including industry, academic, institution, and society. In layman's term, I will say that the country is in a deep and severe crisis. The country's economy remained in the midst of the historic recession, the worst in the past 7 decades. The income of the average person is insufficient for subsistence, particularly in rural sectors. You all have a significant role to play in achieving the economic recovery process in this country. I urge all of you, undergraduates and researchers, and embrace and contribute in any possible way to come out from this deep economic crisis. The technology is the key to get out from this type of mess. In the many countries have done so. I see I'm confident that the technology is the catalyst to pull out this country from this deep economic crisis. We need to adopt the latest technology for advancement in society. If I take 21st century technology, for example, so the hydrogen fuel cell, I can take as a first example. The hydrogen fuel cells are latest innovation that is close to becoming reality now. The technology was discovered in 1839, but it has only recently been profitable enough to use in a wide area. This technology is currently being adopted globally for future automobile manufacturing. And the whole automobile manufacturing transformation by technology will happen in pretty soon. And I also want to touch the other area, the graphene, the graphite. And the graphene is called the miracle material. It is a product of the graphite, is the stronger than steel, is thinner than paper, and excellent conductor for electricity. Graphene is suitable for numerous applications, including batteries, computer chips, wearable electronics, and space travel, and so on. The multi-hundred of applications graphene-based, graphite-based. In the near future, graphene technology will surpass the silicon technology. And it is interesting to note that we have the best graphite in the world. There are many opportunities to add value for the graphite. And the graphene technology is very important for us in our economic recovery process. Other technology that we heavily use is that the genetic engineering. The first time we heard about genetic engineering was the science fiction film, the Gattaca, written and directed by Andrew Niccol. At that time, genetic engineering was virtually unimaginable. In the film, a future society is driven by a genetic engineering. The potential children are conceived using a genetic selection to inherit the best of their parents. The fast forward to today, and the genetic engineering is used in every field of biological sciences. And when combined with the computing power, many applications are being developed. And for example, the entire genome can be scanned to predict the likelihood of developing genetic related diseases, such as heart diseases, breast cancers, and many more. This could result in more individual medical cares based on the genetic history of a patient. In addition, the identification of stem cells lead to a culture of any human organ that can be used in an organ transplant in the future. In the future, we should be able to buy your own organ in the market. It may be liver, it may be kidney, it may be heart, and so on. That technology had advanced to that level. There have been numerous other advances in the field of genetic engineering. And I'm not going to go into all details. But the technology-wise, another breakthrough is the quantum computing. For over 50 years, scientists have predicted that the arrival of the quantum computers. Google recently announced that it had achieved the quantum supremacy. It was demonstrated by the completing a calculation in 3 minutes that would have taken a conventional supercomputer much longer to finish that task. So the autonomous vehicle are the other major breakthrough in the 21st century. The science fiction television show of the past were now present and the future. Automakers are now developing driverless automobiles. We have developed sensors for all possible applications. So this is entirely feasible now. The technology, 5G technology, if we take, is a mobile network of the 5th generation. As now a smart device enter into the market, a strong connection will be required to transmit data quickly and reliably. This is where 5G step in. It is designed to achieve incredible speed, increase availability, enhance productivity. This technology will benefit a variety of industries by facilitating quicker transmission and higher quality connections. The technology, if you take as artificial intelligence, is the capacity of computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks typically performed by human. AI could computing mega of the machine learning and capabilities of artificial intelligence with cloud-based computing environment. There are many AI-based applications developed. For example, AI is AI in finance, AI in marketing, AI in social media, AI in mobile application, gaming, agriculture, healthcare, human resources. Robotics are few examples. They've been used in every corner nowadays in AI. And there is a lot of opportunities in this sector. You don't need a lot of investment. You need a clean mind to work to develop applications. I want to touch the whole world change with the COVID pandemic in 2019. Entire world entered into the state of emergency. I'm sure that the whole world could not have experienced such a crisis situation for last at least a century. The COVID pandemic resulted in loss of many lives and 30% decline in global income, global economic expansion. However, we were indirectly and incredibly fortunate to have able to escape a deep crisis. Two important technologies, the vaccine biotechnology and internet technology, play a vital role in this recovery process. If I take the internet technology, with few examples, there have been numerous advances in IP-based technology in recent years. It was extremely useful in managing almost all government and private sector activities via online tools throughout the pandemic period. For instance, Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, GoToMeeting, WebEx, and so many P2P applications are being developed and heavily used and played an important role in keeping the world intact and organizations intact, family intact. If there was no internet, the entire world would have collapsed that time. For instance, all educational institutions could operate, both schools, universities, without being crippled, even in Sri Lanka. Before, we never thought of whether we will be able to move into 100% online operation as a country. It was simply possible because of the advance that we had made in internet technology. This technology also provided new distance learning opportunity for most rural communities. The whole country, rural or urban, is now familiar with this technology. Now, students in rural areas have access to best education facilities in the country. Another good example is the advanced level results for this year. It has been better in the rural sector despite having all other limitations. Further, if anybody want to get a degree or diploma from an overseas university, now it is possible through online education. Through this technology, many new opportunities are being created and opened up. Internet technology, what we see today, is a tip of iceberg. There are many more opportunities in the area of internet-based technology for young entrepreneurs to be utilized and improved upon and make entrepreneurships around it. The technology which help us to manage through COVID pandemic is the vaccine science, vaccine biotechnology. The development has advanced several generations. In the early stage of the discovery of the vaccine, they use attenuated vaccines, the live attenuated organisms. And in the second phase, inactivated organism used to vaccinate people. And also we use toxoids, is a part of the toxin produced by the particular pathogen is used to develop immunity in a human or animals. And we gradually, now we are in an RNA DNA world, and we develop a vaccine of RNA and DNA vaccines. The most of the vaccine we use today to escape the COVID pandemic is mostly the RNA or DNA vaccines. And these days, RNA and DNA vaccine are most commonly used, and they're the cutting edge technology to manufacture this vaccine. The cutting edge technology are being used. For example, the vaccine we use, RNA and DNA vaccine, Moderna, the Pfizer, AstraZeneca, those vaccines are RNA or DNA vaccines. Biotechnology has moved that far to, unfortunately, Sri Lanka is unable to produce a vaccine even at a primary level. Disaster will happen if a new disease of Sri Lankan origin emerge. We will all in jeopardy. Consequently, the investment in this type of research and the development are essential for development of the country's health sector. This technology can also be used in other fields such as agriculture. Therefore, I strongly believe the R&D investment in this space is very essential to move forward our country into the prosperity. We cannot ignore agriculture because you have faculties, you have schools, and the country is agriculture dependent. We are not, my estimate is that we have not fully utilized technology in agriculture, which is why our agriculture productivity is low and not sustainable. Even though we have an ideal environment for any kind of agriculture, the industry is still struggling to advance. Converting our agriculture to total organic agriculture reverse whatever the progress we have made in the last 40 to 50 years. Now, nearly 2 years after country moved towards the total organic agriculture, the food production decreased significantly, which is between 30 to 40%. The reduction is occurred. This decision already threatened our food security and also economy and sustainability of the entire nation. We used to have a $4 billion agriculture-based industry, but that number decreased to $1 billion in this year. For example, a few years ago, we could produce enough rice for entire country, even at the time the industry was unprofitable. The farmers never had the opportunity to improve their living standards and always lived below the poverty line. If agriculture continued to operate in this manner, the entire farming community will only be able to just to survive, if that. Eventually, farmers island-wide will leave agriculture, and thus the whole country will become highly dependent on international donors for our food security. Sri Lanka is blessed with climate suitable for all kinds of agriculture, with average temperature of 10 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. And annual rainfall is 750 millimeters to 7,050 millimeters. 7,050 millimeters is a 7.5 meter height rainfall. At the end of the rain, after 1 month, there is a drought always in the country. There is some problem. And we also have a 12-hour good sunlight and a very fertile soil system. So these are the key ingredients that required for the agriculture. Other factors are all external. Managing and scientifically integrating these variables is the key to increase our productivity. For example, you can use global reference for rice yield. countries such as Japan, Australia, China, and many other countries produce more than 10 metric tons of rice per hectare. In our case, this was only 4 metric tons per hectare in 2018, before the organic revolution. If we can lift our rice yield to at least to 5 metric tons per hectare, farmers' income will increase by 20%. Not only farmers' income, all consumers and the country benefit from all additional income that industry generated. I am confident that agriculture economy can be easily doubled. It means that we can increase to $8 billion industry. We can make it to the highest foreign currency earning industry in the country. We require innovative leaderships in the sector, where young entrepreneurs can play a significant role in the mission to restore the agriculture in this country. Throughout, there have been numerous advancements in the agriculture technology. For example, plant breeding, crop modeling tools, nutrient management technology, use of drone technology, satellite technology, crop sensors, weather forecasting tools, automated irrigation, light and heat control, intelligent software for the pest and disease management, GPS technology, and so many technology evolve around this agriculture and use in the other part of the world we don't use. And we have not benefited from this technology. Among all the technology, the most difficult is breeding for high yield potential. That is more challenging, need a bigger investment. The R&D requires a really large investment in this space of science. Most of the developed countries have heavily invested in this area of research. And other thing is climate change is predominant. Now we see it and it's happening. And we need to invest in this area. We need to, if you want to prepare for climate change, we need to develop plants that withstand for the climate change. This is where we need to have this technology used for the plant breeding. Numerous technology are used in the plant breeding. For example, we use the pedigree breeding, idiotype breeding, population breeding, hybrid breeding. Those are the techniques that we use now, we use here. But when it comes to the after this science, like there are 4 or 5 generations of a breeding technology, genetics evolve. And for example, the mapping of genes of interest, mark-assisted selections, recombinant DNA technology, gene editing, use of CRISPR-Cas9, high-throughput phenotyping, metabolomics. These are all new, brand new keywords, and it's heavily used in other parts of the world. And we need to integrate, we need to bring in this science into agriculture if we really want to lift our productivity. I think it's very worthwhile. We put so much money for the subsidy. The subsidy, that money, if you put a part of that money, the amount of money we put in a year, so we can invest in this technology to increase the yield and we increase the efficiency of our system. Using this technology, the yield potential of plant, the resistant to diseases, nutrient toxicity, pest and diseases, drought, frost, floods have been improved for many economically important crops around the world. Unfortunately, we have barely adopted this technology in our crop improvement programs. I believe it is time to invest in this area of agriculture technology. If we are serious about addressing the national long-term food security and sustainability of the industry, this industry should be profitable industry that bring dollars into the country, and all farmers should be able to live above the poverty line. The big part of this task belongs to you young people, and you need to really work hard to get this agriculture back to. Sri Lanka is recognized as a high IQ nation. This is something I really want to touch. This is an incredible trait. Why we have not utilized. The last point I want to bring to you is this is is a natural inheritance. Sri Lanka is known for its IQ and literacy rate for years. IQ is a measure of person's ability to reason based on the brain ability to think critically and solve problems logically. There is a direct and indirect relationship between IQ and problem solving and education performance. As a nation, we have second highest IQ after Israel's. There is a reason for this, but I will not elaborate because we as a nation are not, in my opinion, mature enough to accept it as yet. Unfortunately, we have not utilized this trait to build our nation, while other nations have utilized it to their advantage. As a classic example, among 2,400 scientists at the NASA, 263 scientists are Sri Lankan origin, are Sri Lankan. In many other instances, this holds true. This is not only US, it's all around the developed world is the same story. Our nation would have been well developed if we had only managed our human resources correctly. The main message I want to pass to you in general terms, it is now crystal clear that we must begin operating differently if we really want to make a progress. Unfortunately, we all have ups and downs in our lives. We are going through a period of downturn. If you want to progress in this scenario, you must continuously adapt. In the future, you may need to hold multiple jobs or pursue multiple careers. I think the whole dynamism of employment will change in the future. We will also need to continue acquiring new skills, possibly excess of 2 degrees. You must able to risk when accepting new employment opportunity, which is outside your skill area. As a nation, we must also change our perspective and attitudes. As a nation, I will repeat, we must also change our perspectives and attitudes. We must build a new, strong foundation upon which to build our future economy and prosperity. We need young people like you to step in. We need young people like you to step in. I have opened up several possibilities for you to contribute through innovation, building personalities, and society as a whole. I hope this will assist you, even to a small degree, in making a positive contribution to science, society, and the country through your innovative leadership. Finally, I hope this conference is a highly productive endeavor for all of you. My heartiest congratulations and best wishes to all of you. Once again, thank you.